the scenario. Here's the scenario.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Why Are You Already Laughing? Here's the scenario with your host. I'm Brendan Sagalow. Joining me, as always,
Mike Feeney, and also
Mike Cannon.
Wow.
What's up, everybody? Brendan, you are the most adorable professional on earth, my
Thanks.
friend. You just
Thanks.
You said another.
Yeah.
You broke that word up into two words.
See, this is why I can't do it here, because I do it on garbage days all the time. I go, hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Fine, whatever. I can't do it here because people like you go, you broke up another. You're looking at every word through a fucking microscope.
there's a lot
dude.
of pressure.
It's so much pressure.
It's so much pressure, and it's impossible to be right.
I'd rather.
Yeah.
That's a good name for it.
Or meet our expectations.
You guys, the fans, always meet our expectations, right? Let's explain the show to the newbies, since we are a brand new pod. On the laugh button. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, as Brendan likes to say. We are Here's the Scenario. It's a hypothetical-based podcast. We do what-ifs, scenarios, some morality struggles, questions, typically built by our fans. You guys send in emails to here's the scenario at gmail.com. You can DM us on Instagram or Twitter. Here's the scenario pod. Hit us up with any scenarios that you guys are thinking, and we'll get to them in each episode and give you guys a shout as well.
We are so easy to reach and talk to that it's criminal. It's actually bad for our careers how easy it is to talk to us.
I often stop feeding my son to answer a DM.
My mom's in
maybe
the
we should-
hospital right now. No,
Maybe we should all just delete just any two of the 11 social medias we have. Just pick two at random and be like, you know what? Two less ways to access me. Make it
course.
a little harder.
Well, dude, did I tell you I had one of those, like, I would call it a angry breakdown. You know how there's different levels of break. There's the sad breakdown. There's the angry breakdown. I had
Were you shadow boxing?
I was shadow banning. I don't know what that means. So
Ask Ian.
So I was going through the new Clubhouse thing. I was looking at Clubhouse because everybody's talking about it, and I just had that blood curdling, angry fucking. I'm sorry, I'm getting a call. All right, turning that off. I just got this blood, like, so mad at just the fact of being like, another thing that we have to get good at or look into, or I'm still not good at TikTok. I'm 2 apps behind.
That's the worst. That's the best and worst part about it, because I 100% agree and feel that same stress, pressure, anxiety of being like, like a new thing to make content for and all that other stuff. But then it's also kind of like, the more I think about it, the apps that haven't been like the staples forever have kind of been Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right? So like all three of those apps. Yeah, but not for a lot of people. You know what I mean? They still have a lot of fans or followers on that. It's just I don't and we don't, but like other people have a huge base on it depends on what your audience is, right? But those 3 apps have never really rewarded me for my time. Instagram in very small bursts and stuff, but like the first app that I had any success with was Vine, and then the next app that I had even more success with was Periscope, and then the next app that I had even more success with was TikTok. So like all of these, like not the big 3, but the little like spin-off apps have all helped me, even though, they like 2 of them have died, but now one of TikTok could end up fucking taking over all 3 of those for all the fuck we know. So it's like, as much as I hate doing that, it's like I'd rather be an early adopter who's grumbling, trying to figure it out, than to be somebody who's like me. I joined Twitter 5 years too late, and then it's just like, now I'm gonna just try and like think of monologue jokes a bunch so that people will.
Me too. And now you can get like I used to get like 2 likes on on my tweets and be like, oh, now I get a whopping 13.
That's been worth the 6 years then.
Yeah.
6 years of your life.
Single digits, Brendan deletes it.
Yeah.
But that's not what this show is about at all.
Not at
So let's
all.
get into it.
Let's
Yeah,
get
let's
into
it.
some questions.
So again, we're in the early stages of the pod. We're recording these ahead of time. We want you guys to email, DM us, any scenarios, any hypotheticals, shit you say to your friends. Write it down in the moment, send it over to us, and we'll do it on the show. But for now, we got Bwendy on the ones and twos.
Perfect. Yeah, which is, makes me feel important. And this is such a good. I mean, it couldn't be any
Don't build it
better.
up now.
Okay, 1 sec. And so, okay. Here's question number 1. No buildup.
Would you rather be a fart or a pee?
I'd rather be a fart.
Yeah.
If you could remove one word from the English language, what would it be? And I'm saying it right now, Shadowband. Get rid of that word forever, dude.
Yeah, I can't have any more talks with Ian about it. It's over. I've tried to
never
explain
wanna
it to
hear another
him, and he
person say
just
it.
doesn't get it. And he's like, "But it's really happening." I was like, "I don't doubt that it is. I just hate your word."
Yeah.
There's just nothing you can do about it.
I feel
Well,
like
also
I
just the term Shadowband just sounds so queefy because it sounds like you're implying that you're doing something so outside the circle of edgy in society that they're fucking keeping you down, man. That you're speakeasy comedy. You know what I mean?
Feeney, let us have our conspiracy where big tech is censoring truly talented people. And the only people that gain success are those that suck the teat of, the Jews.
Well, that part. Well, no, I was gonna say that part's true until that last sentence, until that last word. I thought you were gonna say of society. But I do feel like obviously there's shit going wrong with my algorithm, with Cannon's algorithm, with Ian's. Like, there's definitely for sure they're not acting like a normal profile in terms of exposure, in terms of views, all of that stuff. There's 100% something wrong, but I also think that could be a thing of like
Your internet
an algorithm.
heads up.
Oh fuck! I'm on the thing. Hold on, I'm still on the VPN.
Okay,
Pause.
we'll vamp. But like,
All right,
yeah,
is it-
what's
I'm
remember
back.
we were doing a show and you were like vamp, and I was like, what? And I was on stage and I didn't know what that meant. So I went, vamp? What does that mean? Vampires?
Did you do that?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Dude, I gotta say, I
right, I'm back.
guess I block things out of necessity for still being your friend.
There's a lot to block out, dude.
Yeah, that's why
Sorry.
there's so many things you're like, you don't remember, and I'm like, no, I like you still.
Okay.
I also just want to say I think Zoom is shadow banning me because every time I go on an impassioned run, my internet breaks up, so I'm being shadow banned. But I do think that there's something with the algorithm that is super fucked up, but they did tweak their algorithm recently, so maybe it's just one of those things where we fell through the cracks of just getting fucked in that element. But I also don't think it's like a malicious. I feel like shadow ban implies a
sweeping.
malicious, targeted attempt at enemy of the state Will Smith shit versus being like, yeah, it's just my profile's just not reaching as many people as it should or would or used to. Like it's just that, which fucking stinks. But that's a good word to get the hell out of there.
yeah.
You know what I fucking there's a goddamn Peloton commercial that keeps playing and they're like, fuck, what's the word that they use? It's one of those things like not let's get after it, but like fuck, what are those goddamn? I might even look up the commercial. Cannon, what's yours?
I can't wait till you figure this out because now,
Yeah,
now it's killing me.
Cannon, what's yours? I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to see what this dipshit from Peloton
I'm gonna ask Erica.
I just bought Peloton shoes, dude. We got a bike coming here. I'm gonna get real
Really?
fucking yoked. Yeah. My
Damn,
heart
dude.
rate or my lungs are gonna get better. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's great. And you can like watch TV.
All right, I
while you're
figured
doing that.
Erica knew. It was the way they used it. It's savage. Where they're like, "Come on, Peloton crew, get savage with your workout," and you're like,
Damn
Ew,
it, that's mine
douche
too.
chills.
Sucks.
I think that's mine.
"Savage stinks."
Savage sucks. I almost wanted to say fierce as like kind of a piggyback on that, but I actually
Yeah.
don't mind that in certain situations. But
Right.
savage, very rarely can you say that anymore without sounding like, you're fucking you're on Broad City or something.
You're drinking Pinot Grigio. I also just feel like
savage. You almost
That's
have
the
to
other thing.
say it like that.
And nobody has been savage since like fucking like, you know, it's like our grandparents were savage when they were like killing people with their bare hands in the war. There's like that's savage. We're like you know, we're
grandpa
riding a
did that in
stationary
Levittown.
bicycle. Yeah.
It is funny that the word savage was used as like a slur against Native Americans, but then it's also used by these like blonde chicks and gays to be like, that's savage. You know, and it's like, you know what I mean? That's crazy. I'm not going to say what that's like.
Dude,
because,
how many
you know.
times would they has like one white lady been, you know, doing that, just saying fucking savage and saying it as her black waiter walked up, and it's just this horrible miscommunication.
Yeah. She's like, no, I was talking about the avocado toast.
Yeah.
Not this. Not you. I'm so sorry. Who do I make the check out to?
Yeah.
Just make it out.
Oh, you know what else they say in the commercial? Erica just reminded me. Thank you, Erica. They said, she goes, you came to slay this Peloton.
Oh,
You
slay
came to
sucks.
slay.
Slay
And you're like,
sucks.
they say slay and savage in 1 30-second spot,
So
and
I
it's
gotta-
like, you've guaranteed me to never buy your product. You ever do that? You see commercials that are on so often. Like there's a Grubhub commercial that plays this annoying song every, you know, it's on essentially once a commercial break. And it plays so often, I have now promised and vowed even to never get Grubhub ever again.
They
Just
should.
because of that.
They should change it to Grudge Hub.
That's my company I'm starting. In spite of
See
them.
how close I got to
Grudge
the
Hub
camera?
is hilarious. Now that's a sketch.
Oh, God.
Quick, get the notepad. All right, let's do another one. Would you give up all your friends, never able to see or talk to them again for $5 million? What about $100 million? I think we already got a convoy here because I hate everybody I know.
Convoy.
I mean,
I'll pay you two to go away for $50.
There is no discussion. There is no discussion. It's the quickest decision of my life. $5 million.
Yeah. Does that
Yeah.
include your family though?
He said friends. Didn't say family, did it?
No, it just said friends.
Then yeah. Then no family.
Okay.
Your family aren't your friends.
Family you die for, friends you kill for.
Oh.
That was pretty good.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Was it not good for?
Was it not good for you?
good
What did you
for?
just have sex? So you should say that. Was that not
I
good
was
for you?
really
Wow.
hoping you wouldn't catch me accidentally say 4 because
Brendan, that really rolled off your tongue as if you're used to saying it.
yeah. It's written in every notebook I have. Can you imagine a world where all humans, male and female, are bald? How do you think it would be different?
I do think that's going to actually, they say evolutionary wise that's happening. It's like we are evolved. Yeah. I mean, if just look from like the apes and whereas we've evolved, like so I used to know this chemistry teacher who in middle school who was or high school who was bald, and he like explained this whole evolution of just being like, you know, his like way of framing it being like, I'm more evolved than you people that have a lot of hair. That kind of his thing. It was
Like,
like
the people
that's
that are born without wisdom teeth.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's so weird, dude, but I guess that's the way it's all. We're all just going to be this hybrid of like a whitish, brownish, blackish, bald type of people at some point, hairless.
Yeah, well, we keep shaving our pubes too, so eventually, you know, our genitals are going to get the net and just not grow the hair to protect themselves anymore.
That's so funny. That's one of those things that like nobody's gonna have pubes down below, and like a teacher or whatever is gonna be like, interesting thing about this is people used to have pubic hair on their genitals, but then because more and more whores kept shaving it,
you guys don't even grow it.
yeah.
Like,
Now
"Well,
hop
what
in the
about
flying
our ass
bus.
hair? What about our ass hair? Well, most people couldn't figure that one out.
Yeah. I still have ass hair. I'm so happy that I don't have to like shave it or anything.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, if I was a woman, it would be a must because just nobody would leave a satisfied customer.
I hooked up with this chick recently, and she had a little ass hair, and it fucking made me I loved it. I was
no.
like,
You did.
just a little bit, enough where I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? It was
like
kind of nice.
like a front flip of your hair, kind of a tuft, or like a what?
Just like if I were to touch her arm, or like if she were to touch my arm, and I like this, you know, like a little bit
Peach
of arm
fuzz.
hair. Peach fuzz.
So
Yeah.
I would. So it was light. Because
Light,
that I
yeah.
could get into but I have hooked up with a chick, I think in college, and she had like daddy long legs coming out of her ass, and I was like, oh, like it was like a bald guy hanging on to the last strands for dear life, and it was, it wasn't hot at all. It was actually pretty upsetting.
Ugh, that sucks. I didn't know I was going to be into it. I was like, oh, I like this. I don't
So
know.
what was even the question? People are going to be bald, and what's the question though?
I've already moved on.
I don't even think it was a question. It was just like, hey, do you guys know that we're all going to be bald?
The
said-
whole question was, are you able to imagine? And the
Yeah.
answer is, yes, we are, convoy.
Oh boy.
Actually,
Two
the question
convoys.
is, how do you think it would be different, the world?
I mean,
we'd
obviously,
probably be into different shit, right? We'd probably like rub our balls on bald heads.
Bulls. But I also think we just answered how it would be different. We wouldn't be growing pubic hair and stuff. Like,
right.
So
All right, next
let's
question.
just move on. If you if you had to get someone to laugh in 1 minute or less, what would you do? I think this is a very interesting question because do you remember that scene in Louis during the late night things when David Lynch was like, "Go, make me laugh, go," and he's like, like he had no idea what to do. So I think about that. Like, what would you do? I mean, we're all comics, but you still have to like, hey, what's going on, everybody? You know, you have to like get into it. So what would you do in a minute, or I guess a minute you could tell
Did
a
you ever
joke.
play Make Me Laugh with your friends?
You mean having friends? Yeah.
You woke up the rattlesnake. Good job, Brendan. Yeah.
No, you fucking sphincter. I mean, the actual game show. Make
The one
Me
that
Laugh.
like Gary Shandling was on
like,
and all
yeah,
that.
like try to hold a sip of water in your mouth.
Oh, no, I've never done
Oh, we used to play that all the time. It was actually great. Songs really worked, like made up songs on the spot, especially about like abortions or something crazy like when we were younger. I don't
Yeah.
know if that would work in my adult life, but those were the things that like just silliness. So it wasn't like, hey, how you doing like straight stand up, because I
course.
think anybody can stare that down and just be like, pathetic.
Yeah. 100%.
Pathetic, dude.
I guess tickling the person, is that allowed?
Oh, you probably can't make contact with them.
Yeah. Okay. If you can't tickle them, we'll just throw that in there.
Yeah.
I would slip on black ice and fall.
Yeah. That's
Or
good. Where
just
would you
launch
get the black
myself
ice,
down, or just launch myself down a set of stairs.
though? I know. I'd probably. I don't know. I have no fucking idea, dude.
It's really only
Try
like
to suck my
physical,
own dick. I think.
physical comedy, or or some sort of
Yeah.
like silly face is basically the only. Especially if someone's trying not to laugh and there's only one of them. Like you said, stand up. You could stare down Bill Burr doing the best bit he's ever done, and if you just had the mindset of like, not gonna make me laugh, it's just never gonna land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, weirdly enough, some people do that when they pay for it.
Most.
It's so strange.
In
That's so
Connecticut,
strange.
it happened this weekend. It was bizarre. There were like 3 people sitting there like the fucking, like the X Factor, literally just arms crossed, just kind of like puzzled. And I'm just like, way to come out after a year.
Can't wait to hear about it on Irish Goodbye Podcast.
Oh, yeah, bud. I got a lot of deeds to spill.
I wish I was on that podcast. Okay.
Is this not enough for you?
No, it's fine. This is enough.
Brendan's already taken a sabbatical from video games because we're all together too much.
Yeah,
So now he's like,
really, for real. I talk to these people too much. I need time to be alone. I need to watch Saturday Night Fever by myself and just fucking hang out.
I was saying last night, people on the Twitch were like, "Where's Brendan? He hasn't streamed all week. Is he okay? Is he sad?" And then someone went to your stories and was like, "Why is he watching Saturday Night Fever alone instead of playing video games with you guys? And why does he look so sad in all of his stories?" And I was like, "I can't answer any of these questions because he doesn't write back to texts anymore." And so we just are all gonna guess together.
I'm a hard guy to get a hold of.
Are you?
No. No, not at all.
You shouldn't be.
You are if you don't try.
Yeah. I'll reach out. I'm like a cat. I'll come back. I'm an outside cat. Okay. If you
And here we
had-
thought you were a golden retriever this whole time, but you've shown yourself to be.
You thought I was a golden
sci-
retriever. If I'm a dog, I'm probably like a bulldog.
A bulldog,
Or Shih Tzu
yeah.
or something.
You're a mix. You're like
I'm a
you're
mutt.
Yeah,
I'm a-
you're several
it's-
things. And you were born in an alley.
And I'll die in an alley.
That's why your nails are blue.
It's so funny. Yeah, that's actually from how cold they are. It's funny. It's like when I was younger, a mutt was like the coolest dog because of Lady and the Tramp. I was like, that's a cool fucking dog, dude. Like, no one knows what he is. He's whatever he wants, and he's super
mysterious.
fucking cool. And now you see mutts, and you're like, gross. Get that fucking thing away from me. I want a purebred.
But
I mean,
thought
my
mutts
dog's
are
a
all
mutt, so I don't feel that way. But
Yeah,
Dog's not
I
a mutt.
he absolutely is.
He's
No.
What do you think he is?
A mix. There's a difference between a mix and a mutt.
No,
A
there
mutt.
isn't, as a
Yes,
matter of
there
fact.
is, man. A mutt. A mutt is like this hairy, fucking stupid dog that you couldn't even tell what they are. A mix, you could be like, well, he's like half golden retriever, half something.
But you can't be a purebred mix.
You could be a.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, dude.
Lost in the world of logic.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is at about 3 minutes ago last week, we realized we weren't recording on GarageBand or Zoom or something. That's how much
imagine.
time.
Imagine
funny?
we weren't.
That'd be crazy. Okay, next question. If you had $1 million to spend and we're going to die in 7 days, what would you do with your money? Now, we answered this kind of on the Patreon, but we did it with like 50,000. Now, this is 1 million.
1 million is going to be, I'm going to spend every ounce of it in a week, and here's how it's going to be. It's going to be private
7
jets,
days, yeah.
5-star everything, the best meals. I'm going like $250 a person dinners. You know what I mean? I'm going to La Bernardine. I'm going to 11 Madison. I'm going to the best.
$5,000.
Well, that's what they. Well, I'm saying like that's what like those tasting menus are. It's like $250 a person before wine. Yeah, so maybe fucking $500 a person or something like that. But it's gonna be like crazy how much money just burning a hole, going to. Paying as much money as I need to pay off to get to see every site in the world that I want to see without tourists. Buying out the Louvre for the day for like, you know what I mean? Like,
The cocaine, Feeney. The cocaine.
why?
Oh, yeah.
Because you gotta have that to be up the entire week.
Yeah, you
No,
gotta at
you
least
sleep on the
try it,
private
too.
jet.
No, you fucking stay up and enjoy it, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta get every mile out of that.
But
jet.
enjoying it for me is being able to sleep on a plane, which is something I can't do generally, especially because I'm never in like first class or anything. So if you tell me I'm in business first class where the beds lay down and someone comes over and jerks you off in between giving you mimosas, that's the experience that I want.
That's what I was gonna say. Like private jets, but top luxury kind of planes, like planes that we didn't even know fucking existed.
2
dude.
floors with a bar
Yeah,
up top.
where you're
Wall
like, dude,
Street
you
shit.
could have a fucking bar mitzvah on this plane. Holy shit. That's what I want. I want to do that, go to different sites. I really, really want to go to Hawaii. That's like one of my huge goals, to go there and just fucking chill.
You can go there this year for so cheap.
I know. I think what was the website that you told me to go to?
Travel Zoo. That deal, I'm sure, is long gone. But they have them every week. They put out Travel Zoo deals. You have to like jump on these things. Yeah.
I know. I'm so stupid. But yeah, that's what I would do. No, not stupid. Be nice to my friend Brendan.
That's not overcorrect, but yeah, no, I think.
Yeah,
I was more hurt by the so.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, if I didn't have to travel or anything, if like not to completely take Feeney's thing, I would take a luxury plane, fly around the world, then go to Hawaii. I wouldn't even stop. I mean, around the world, you know, maybe stop to fuel up and then go to Hawaii and just see how much I can spend there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you could spend all the money so easily. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just even on the private jets back and forth, like it's not hard to just drop a mill. You know what I mean? If you wanted to stay landlocked, you could just buy like 3 cars and ghost ride them into an ocean. You know what I mean? You could spend the money in a day. It's so easy. Just 3
How about
Bugattis.
this?
Fucking
I spend $200,000 making a state-of-the-art giant like 4-story ramp, and then I just fucking ghost ride a car off that into the Grand Canyon.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then I jump out of the car midway through and do one of those squirrel suit things.
Cool. That's
to your
awesome.
death?
No, I'll survive just to get that Red Bull money.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to do that just like in a car, jump out in a squirrel suit, and just people are like, oh, and I just go directly into the wall of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. For some reason, there's an explosion, even though it's just you.
Yeah. Multiple explosions? Yeah.
Okay, next question. This is funny. So the website that I go to, they do allow these are questions that are given to whatever. Listen how bad this question is. If you were sick and your throat hurt row bad, so there's a typo right there, row bad, so bad that it was hard to drink water, how much water do you absolutely need?
I mean, what's even the
That's-
way to...
That's
A
like
gallon.
that's like a spam thing. That's like,
Yeah.
wanna fuck real girls?
That's a robot
Yeah.
trying to see if its programming is close enough to human to get to deal.
If you're hurt
Pass.
real bad, so bad it was hard to drink water, how much water do you absolutely need? I guess
Right? We all need water.
what's the
Yeah.
key? Yeah,
All
what's
of
the-
us.
What's the question?
And we're all hungry, right? And love?
now, where are your
Sleep is-
government secrets?
Yeah. What's another one? One that's actually answerable.
Okay. If you can make or get a real director to make a sequel to any single movie, which would you choose? That's a fine question. What a fine
It's
question.
very tough
that
too
is.
because I'm such a
One-offs?
non-fan, I should say, of sequels.
Yeah,
but
most one-off
I did
movies
just
I fucking love.
I just did watch I didn't watch it out of spite for years, but I just watched the director's cut of Doctor Sleep, the Shining sequel, and it's fucking phenomenal. I mean, it's not The Shining, but it also isn't trying to be like another version of The Shining, where like you would think like if someone was like, oh, a Shining sequel, it'd be like another family goes there and he goes crazy. You know, it'd just be the same story, just new. But this was a totally different story, but also still the guy who made the movie figured out, because the reason that Stephen King, when he wrote The Shining, the reason he hated Stanley Kubrick's film is because he didn't end it the way that the book did it. It was a lot more supernatural. So that's why Stephen King always hated The Shining. So when they made this Doctor Sleep, which was the sequel that Stephen King wrote, the guy who adapted it found a way to take Stephen King's version and also still make it a sequel to the Stanley Kubrick version and put them both together, which is like so impossible to do, and it's terrific. But if I had to, you know what I'd love to see, but again, it's like I wouldn't really care because all the people I cared about were gone. But like a Goodfellas or Casino, I guess. But it's like, but you
that
don't
would
need
suck.
those.
That would
They
suck.
all suck. Sequels suck. Any movie that you love alone is great because
True.
it's
Godfather 2 is awesome.
But that's why you also have
the
to
sequel
pick.
already exists for that.
I know,
that's
but
why picking this is an art. Like, so you have to pick a kind of low stakes but high stakes to you personally sequel. So no matter what, it's a win. My choice, with that in mind, is Blue Chips 2.
oh, okay.
Nick
Okay.
Nolte, what happened to him after that? New NBA players, new insider, or under the table fucking recruiting, the updated version of what's going on these days, the amount of money, the social media shit, getting their ass eat by the coach's daughter, whatever. Like, I would love to see that fucking movie.
Yeah, that would be awesome. My pick would be this is going to be a weird one, but 8 Mile. 8 Miler. 8 more miles.
Well, that one actually could be a good. That
That's
could
what
be
I'm
a good
saying.
sequel. That makes sense because he has the rest of his career starts after that moment.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like that
exactly.
versus everything I'm thinking of. Why I love all my favorite movies are because they wrap up in such a nice way. Even like I was even thinking like, oh, maybe The Birdcage would be fun to see just more Robin Williams and Nathan Lane together doing literally anything. But even that story, you're like, it wraps up. I don't want to know anything. I don't want more. Like I want it just this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking hard. Or No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, but No Country for to see what happens with that fucking
To Sugar.
Yeah.
To see more sugar killings.
Yeah, that's a good one because
Yeah,
he
I'll do
gets
that.
away. That would be
Yeah, they just call it.
let's all do
they just
that.
call No Country 2 Extra Sugar.
More old men, less
Yeah.
More
even
old
less
men,
old
less
men.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sugar in the City. Okay.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could only do one if you can only do one, listen to music or watch movies for the rest of your life, which would you pick? And I think this is the easiest. Oh God, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy
Yeah.
at all.
I know.
Because movies you can only enjoy when you dedicate the time. Where
Yeah.
music you could be on the go, traveling. I probably am gonna have to go music, but
Yeah.
because music, it's so much wider. There's so many more of it. You can do more. You can work out to music. You could drive to music. Sleep to music.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. Just working out to the silence.
Disagree. Just to the whipping winds and a guy killing people. I'm just like, I'm hitting personal bests left and right. I think I would watch movies because there's music in movies, but then also like there's often like stretches of time where I forget music exists, and not so much anymore since like Crew, because he loves it and it's just great to have on all the time. But it's like before him, I'd listen to so many podcasts and watch shit all the time that music was like I didn't listen to music for like 7 years.
Yeah, but how happy were you when you came back to music, being like, music? We all went through that podcast phase where all we did is listen to podcasts for 2.5 years without any sort of music.
Yeah.
And then you go back and you're like, oh, even old music that I've heard a million times, I'm just so grateful to hear and not have to hear about how they started in comedy. I love this.
Yeah.
No more theories about what's going to happen. Like,
No more.
It's
bitching
all
about
going
PC
digital.
Culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, music. I'm taking music.
Music fucking rules for sure. And also the music that's
No Convoy.
and the reason that music like. There is music in movies, but they're not playing the whole song. Like, again, you're watching Saturday Night Fever, and they're fucking like, more than a woman. And you're like, I would love to listen to that full song.
No,
Yeah.
I get that.
Sorry,
little
I
slice that
can't.
pumps me up, and then I move on with John Travolta.
Yeah, dude.
You guys got to watch that Bee Gees doc, especially if you just watched Saturday Night Fever, Brendan.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What is that, on
They made
HBO Max?
Yeah, they made an entire career. Like they were already famous, but it'd be like if Eminem was like a very middle of the road actor and then a rapper and then wasn't even in 8 Mile, but just made 5 songs for the 8 Mile soundtrack, and then all of a sudden he was selling out arenas because of that. It's like crazy. It's fucking insane, dude.
Crazy, dude.
It's so wild.
I can't wait for that part of the documentary when they go, and in 1975, everything changed. And then they show that shot of Travolta's feet walking.
Yeah. It's their whole story is like, and I'm not a Bee Gees like guy. Like I know like
You're a
6
huge
songs by
Bee
him.
Gees guy.
Yeah, you love fucking Barry
You
Gibbs.
love the Bee Gees.
I do love Barry Gibbs
BJs.
after that documentary. My favorite thing is they were just like, oh, we needed some background. We needed like an additional part for like a backup vocal for like a harmony, and the person that we were gonna have be in it was like the girl was sick or whatever, so we just needed some sort of a falsetto. So I was like, well, let me try, and then he hit that. But you can't tell by the way, and he hit that note, and everybody in the studio was like. And so they just started. So then they just started writing songs
they
around
looked into
his falsetto.
Pennywise's mouth.
Yeah.
That was
Dude,
that was the longest mouth I've ever seen in my entire life. That was
The long mouth of the law, baby.
That was a 9-inch tall mouth.
Oh my god!
But it was crazy. They just basically made songs for a falsetto. It's so wild, and that's like 20 years after they were a band. It's like insane.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
But-
If you could remove your ability to grow a beard, so you never have to shave again, but you could also never grow a beard, would you do it?
I mean, we're just saying what my life is
This
because
really is just a question for Cannon.
yeah. Couldn't apply less.
It is
Wow.
all over the place. It's fucking wild right now. No, I need a beard. I must have it.
Why?
It gives my face shape. It that's almost entirely it. Like I just don't have the fucking Tom Brady jawline. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
what I
I'm
need.
like, I have nothing right now, but I need like a little bit, I think. I need like a tiny bit. I have such a small window of when it stops looking cool, you know? I have
What do
like
you mean?
3 days. I have like 3 days where I'm like, this looks good. You know, like little.
I'm on
like,
day 2.
Yeah. Beards are not a Feeney thing, I don't think.
Although he's threatening people that he's going to grow it again.
The people are torn. There's more people torn about whether I should grow this beard back than if everybody liked the Super Bowl halftime show. It is quite the controversial topic. People are undecided.
All right. Okay. I mean, this is kind of getting redundant here, but would you rather watch movies or TV shows for the rest of your life? That's interesting.
You know what? I think a year or two ago, I probably would have said TV shows because there's so many great ones. However, what I'm loving about movies is that things are fully wrapped up in an hour to 3 hours, anytime in that span. So
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go movies.
love a good fully wrapped up thing. Yeah, I like movies because movies you feel like you've actually accomplished something, kind of. You know, when you're done with one, you're like, I saw that movie now. You know, I'm like, that movie's done. It's in my brain. I can say I saw it.
Yeah, but TV's that way too, though. If you're like, I watched all of Breaking Bad, you're like,
Yes.
oh, fuck. Like anyone, like if I talk to somebody like, oh, I watched Goodfellas, they're like, Goodfellas is great, one of my favorite movies. But if you're like, I watched Breaking Bad, you're like, oh, this person also invested
Yeah.
70 hours of their life into this, and now we could have a deep discussion. And I was listening to Bryan Cranston recently on a podcast who was saying, like, can you imagine if Breaking Bad was a movie? Like, it needed to be
It needed to be a show.
just a show because of like you couldn't have him break bad that quickly in the thing.
right.
It just wouldn't work. But I'm
TV
still
shows it is for me.
saying movies. I'm just being a little
I'm
devil's
going to say
advocate
TV
boy.
shows for me because there isn't a movie that I love as much as I love Breaking Bad. You know? I don't have something that became my personality except for like Kevin Smith movies, but that was just me being a chode. You know what I mean? So I've never had
That
a
is
movie
That's a huge chode.
that's
thing.
such a chode
That's a
move.
good. Here's a question. All right,
Were you
Goodfellas
wearing
or
hockey jerseys too?
No. I was trying to be like Jason Mewes, sans doing heroin, but
Yeah, without the
know.
courage.
without the without the balls.
Goodfellas or Breaking Bad?
Goodfellas.
Yeah,
Breaking
me too.
Bad. I love Goodfellas, but Breaking Bad was such a fucking journey, dude. It was like
What's your yeah? But also there were parts of that last season that were a little long.
no, that last season
Those
was
winter
too
cabin
short.
scenes.
I loved it. At that point.
All
I'm
right,
just
what's your
like,
favorite comedy series ever?
30 Rock probably, or 30 Rock or
30 Rock or let's say Dumb and Dumber or whatever your favorite comedy is.
I'll take 30 Rock, definitely. Over over
You're a TV
over
guy.
any I'm a TV guy. I like
Cannon,
TV.
what are you picking?
I think I'm picking movies just because of the versatility of watching them. Also, is because like even when I was younger, when my friends would have games on or whatever, when we would pregame, I would put on like Ace Ventura, like or a comedy or something like that. Like I just liked watching a movie.
Yeah.
When pre-gaming or hanging out way more than even, watching some meaningless regular season game that I didn't give a fuck about. So that obviously is not the comparison we're talking about. We're talking about movies versus TV. I put myself in the Always Sunny versus Dumb and Dumber quandary that you just presented, and I do think it
Always
might
Sunny.
be Always Sunny because of the
Yeah.
variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Dumb and Dumber or Always Sunny, I guess I'd pick Always Sunny. But, Goodfellas versus, even Sopranos, I'm picking Goodfellas. It's like not even... It's not as... like, the Always Sunny Dumb and Dumber is that's a real hard Sophie's choice, and I think I would go Always Sunny, but... Goodfellas, The Wire, Sopranos, Breaking Bad versus, all my favorite shows ever, but against... a Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is so good.
What are we doing?
I'm so happy to be alive.
It's just something that's unrelated. Brendan just means that.
That's also the first
got a
time he
plan.
said that in a while.
Yeah, a long while. Jeez, put that on your Instagram story so we can all stop worrying.
That is the title of the episode. Just the full quote and attribute it to Brendan. That's the
What
title.
was it?
I don't even know.
I'm so happy to be alive. Brendan Sagalow, first time ever.
Getting too long to be a title, but yeah. A highlight.
Written by Mike Feeney.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. How much time we got time. You're stuck. This is such a hilarious question. You're stuck on a 20-hour flight and you're single. Would you rather be stuck next to a really hot married person or an average single person?
Average single person,
What
because
a
then you got a
stupid
chance.
question.
Then you get a chance of getting laid.
Yeah.
because there's way less standards.
It's not even like, would you like to fuck them? It's just like, would you rather be stuck next to someone who doesn't look as good?
I think you're not picking up on the challenge of the question.
Okay.
So they're saying hot married person. So do you think you could turn this married broad? Or would you settle for a worse looking person, but that at least is open to the possibility of whatever because they're single?
I'm going single average person because once I know that like I don't have the confidence to turn this married person and then we're stuck on a 20-hour flight, I'm going to lose my shit. But if there's a possibility that this person, the average person will fuck me, then hell yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I think I could ruin a marriage over a 12-hour flight.
Oh, you think you're that good?
I think I could. I really
You
I
think
could.
you're that good?
I think not only do I think it, I think there's no way to prove I'm not. So I'm going to go ahead and say that, yeah, I am for sure that good.
That's hilarious. There is no way to prove I'm not. So yes, that's fucking hilarious.
I mean, listen, I definitely 100% possess those qualities. However, I don't think I could ever enact it because of the guilt that I would associate with being like a homewrecker would
feel
make me
nothing.
to
a flight?
feel like too shit.
anything
It
that happens
doesn't
in the
matter
sky
where
doesn't
it is.
matter.
It's not because I'm in the air.
I'd make up a backstory, international waters, like the whole thing. You'd just be
Yeah.
like, the guy probably mistreats her, he hits her, like whatever you got to
Of
tell
course.
yourself to be okay with it.
Yeah, you're like we're over international.
that's what I don't
waters.
want, is
There's
having
land
to-
on the ground.
Yeah.
I did this whole thing this one time. I was sleeping with this girl and I didn't know. I'd like found out she had a boyfriend as we were hooking up, and like I like knocked something off of her wall, and I look up and it's just him in soldier outfit and like deploying and all this shit, and I'm like
Oh my
inside
God.
this chick, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I just instantly created a backstory where that guy like constantly was killing kids and, you know, just being a real piece of shit over in the
Wow.
Middle East. So I
Wow.
felt nothing about
Wow.
it for the rest of my life.
Wow. He's gone gray with guilt.
Yeah. Now my hair is dying, but everything.
Yeah,
else,
yeah. He just goes
I
like
feel
this to
fine.
force it out, and just another 3 gray hairs sprout out, and he's like, "All right,
Another
bought myself
flag,
some more time."
another flag folded at the doorstep.
No, I definitely feel terrible about that.
All right, and that woman, my wife.
Yeah. That's our show, everybody. Thank you very much for listening to our podcast. Here is the scenario. That's not fully what it's called. It's just here's, but you get it. Here's the scenario. We are a brand new podcast, so please rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Tell your friends. Pass it along. If you guys love the show, we're giving you 3 extra hours, essentially a week of content over on our Patreon, patreon.com/scenariopod. Hit us up on social media. Here's the scenario. And send us an email if you want, and just throw us some hypotheticals. Like we said, we're doing these. We banked a couple episodes early on, but from here on out, we want our listeners to be feeding us the questions. So do that. Hit us up. Check out the Patreon. Check us all out on social media at I am Mike Feeney, at I am Mike Cannon, at Brendan Sagalow. Check out our other podcasts, Garbage Days and Irish Goodbye podcast. Go to our websites for tour dates. This, that, the third. Support us. YouTube, the works. You know it. You know it. Just fucking do it. All right?
Do it.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. We love it. We couldn't live without you.
The scenario. The scenario.
Here's the Scenario is Mike Feeney, Mike Cannon, and Brendan Sagalow. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcasts. For more information about the show, visit here'sthescenario.com.
The scenario.